Hello and welcome to our channel, Cheating Exposed. Today, we're revealing another story. My ex who cheated on me with her trainer just reached out after a year of silence. Now her life is falling apart and she wants me back. So, let's get started. Hey everyone, 28 male, just had a weird situation pop up and I honestly don't know how to process it. Maybe getting it off my chest will help. Names are fake, obviously. A little over a year ago, I was in a serious, 3-year relationship with Megan, 27 female. Everything seemed great between us, at least from my perspective. We were talking about moving in together and even had casual talks about marriage someday. Around that time, I started getting into fitness and introduced Megan to my personal trainer, Jake, 30 male. Jake was a super charismatic guy, and he and Megan hit it off, but I didn't think much of it, just assumed they had a good trainer-client relationship. After a few months of them working together, Megan started acting more distant. She'd be busy after her workouts, not come home until late, and her phone would suddenly always be on Do Not Disturb. I'd ask her about it, but she'd blow me off, saying I was being paranoid. Well, turns out I wasn't paranoid. One night, Megan left her phone on the counter while she was showering, and it lit up with texts from Jake. Let's just say they weren't talking about meal plans or workout routines. I confronted her immediately, and she broke down, admitting she'd been cheating with him for months. She told me she fell in love with Jake and that it wasn't about me, it was just something she couldn't help. She packed her things and moved in with him within a week. That was the worst time of my life. It felt like my entire world had been ripped apart. I blocked her on everything and focused on picking up the pieces of my life. Therapy, gym, hanging with friends, I slowly started to move on, even though it left a deep scar. Then, out of the blue, a few days ago, she reached out to me on a new number. At first, I wasn't going to reply, but curiosity got the better of me. She started off saying she missed me, that she's sorry for everything, and that she's made a huge mistake. Apparently, things with Jake went downhill fast. She found out he was cheating on her. Oh, the irony, they've broken up, and now she's stuck, lonely, and miserable. She even admitted she's been thinking about me for months, but was too ashamed to reach out sooner. She said she realizes what she had with me was real and that she wants to make things right. She claimed she's willing to do anything to prove she's changed and asked if we could meet up to talk. Here's the thing, Reddit, part of me still has some feelings for her, but another part of me is screaming to block her again and never look back. I don't know if I can ever trust her after what she did, but hearing her sound so broken on the phone stirred something up in me. Maybe it's pity, maybe it's nostalgia, or maybe I'm just an idiot. So here I am, trying to figure out if I should hear her out or tell her to stay in the past where she belongs. What would you guys do? Update. Hey everyone, I wasn't planning on doing an update, but after meeting up with my ex, I feel like I need to get this off my chest. So, we met up yesterday for coffee. I went in not really knowing what to expect. Part of me wanted closure, part of me was still curious about what she had to say. We talked for a good couple of hours, and it was a lot to process. Megan started by apologizing. She admitted that leaving me for Jake was the biggest mistake of her life, and she's been paying for it ever since. Without getting into too many details, things between them weren't as perfect as she thought they'd be, and the whole relationship basically crashed and burned. She's been struggling ever since, mentally, emotionally, financially. It's been a rough year for her. But here's the part that I wasn't really prepared for. She also brought up a lot of things about our relationship that I never considered. She said that while cheating on me was 100% wrong, she felt like I wasn't the best boyfriend either. According to her, I didn't always make her feel appreciated, and she resented me for that. She mentioned that I was emotionally distant at times, more focused on my work or hobbies, and she felt like she wasn't a priority. She didn't use it as an excuse, but she said that built-up resentment contributed to her being tempted by someone who made her feel wanted. Hearing that hit hard. I didn't see myself that way, but looking back, I can see where I might have dropped the ball. I thought I was being a good partner, but maybe I was blind to some of her needs. She said she spent a lot of time reflecting and realizes she should have talked to me about her feelings instead of stepping out. After we finished talking, she asked if we could try again. She claims she's learned from her mistakes and wants to rebuild what we had. She told me she's willing to take things slow and prove she's different now, but I'm torn. On one hand, I've done a lot of healing in the past year, and I don't know if I can or should go back. On the other hand, I can't lie. Hearing her admit her mistakes and explain her side of things made me feel something. Maybe it's closure, maybe it's sympathy, maybe it's old feelings creeping back. I honestly don't know. Now I'm just confused. Part of me wants to move on and never look back, but another part of me is questioning whether we both made mistakes that could be fixed now that we've grown. I can't tell if she's just trying to ease her guilt or if there's a real chance at something better. What would you guys do? Is there any point in trying to rebuild, or is it better to leave the past where it belongs? Final update. I wanted to give you all a final update because things have taken a turn I didn't expect after my last post, where I told you about Megan reaching out and us having that long conversation. I spent a lot of time thinking about everything. I took a few days to reflect and really tried to figure out what I wanted and what was best for me. Megan continued texting me, trying to keep the conversation going, and she seemed sincere. I could tell she was struggling, and part of me felt bad for her, but every time I thought about giving her another chance, I couldn't shake the memory of how shattered I was when I found out she cheated. That trust was broken, and even though she apologized, I realized that trust might never fully come back. I was leaning towards moving on, but what really sealed it for me was something I didn't expect at all. Just a couple of days ago, I got a message from a mutual friend of Megan's and mine. Apparently, Megan had a bit of a breakdown after our meetup. She went back to Jake, trying to make things work with him again, but it turns out Jake had been cheating on her the whole time, pretty much from the moment they got together. The situation escalated, and from what I've heard, it ended with a pretty bad confrontation between Megan and Jake, leading to some serious legal trouble for both of them. Without going into too much detail, Megan's life has basically imploded. She lost her job, she's facing legal issues, and her mental health is in a really dark place right now. I won't lie, hearing all of that was a gut punch. It's hard to hear about someone you once loved going through so much pain. But at the same time, it felt like the universe was sending me a message. I realized that Megan wasn't coming back to me because she loved me or truly wanted to fix things. She was desperate and didn't know where else to turn. I would have been her safety net, not her true choice. So, I made my decision. I've cut off all contact with her. I wished her well, but I told her that we both need to move on. It's the best thing for both of us. As for me, I've been doing great since Megan and I broke up. I've been focusing on myself, my career, and building new connections. I'm in a good place now mentally and emotionally, and I've recently started using dating apps. They're not the greatest, but much better than where I was. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I can be happy again. Thanks for all the comments, both good and bad, and the advice, whether it was useful or not. If there's one thing I've learned from all of this, it's that sometimes the past is best left in the past. People can grow and change, but that doesn't always mean they're meant to be part of your future. Thanks to everyone who gave me advice and support throughout this. It's been a wild ride, but I'm finally at peace. Stay strong, everyone. You deserve better than settling for someone who didn't see your worth the first time around. Well, folks, that's all. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment, and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.